So that just happened. Leafs in Ottawa. Back to back nights. Did not start great. Did not end great. Well, it ended okay because they actually started to play well near the end, but this was just a game chock full of garbage. They didn't show up. They were behind the pace. The prime problem in the early going was just turnovers. They just kept handing the Senators chances and handing them the puck. And Hutchison actually got the start because of the back-to-back nights thing. And about, was it 6 minutes into the first, they scored goals back-to-back within a minute or something like that. I don't remember. I kind of started tuning out, and then I tuned back in, and I tuned out. And I was tired, so I kept falling asleep. But Tkachuk, unfortunately, of all players, scored the first goal, and I thought they said it went 5-hole, but to me it looked like it more went, between the body and the glove, which is a tricky spot, but that was one that I think everybody thought he should have had. And then just after that, the second one was just along the ice through the 5-hole, which was the weaker of the goals in my opinion, but it was from really close range. So I mean, anymore you can't really make reaction saves anymore that close in because the guys just shoot it so hard. But still, 5-hole along the ice like that, you should just have a stick or something in the way, right? But it is what it is. He let in 2 stinkers, and they didn't hesitate to put Freddie in, and he got in and stabilized things for a while. And Hyman even got a nice goal later on in the first to cut things to 2-1, and they started to pick things up a bit. It was this weird little. They do a sequence where they would be disjointed and turning the puck over like that and not really in the game, and then all of a sudden they'd have a minute or two where they would be all over the Senators and they'd be getting all these chances, and you're like, how did that not go in? How did that not go in? Right? So they weren't without their chances, and they weren't without their periods where they actually did seem to have their shit together, but then they would just fall back and into that the trend of turning it over and stuff. So as the game went on, in the second period, I believe, Ottawa would climb out to a 4-1 lead. And for all intents and purposes, it really did look like it was over. But then in the third period, the Leafs' best period of all, they turned it on and they scored. They had actually Mikheyev had a goal disallowed, and then they scored 2 more after that. Hyman scored again to make it 4-2. So if Mikheyev's goal had accounted, that would have been 4-3. And then they pulled the goalie with just over 2 minutes left, maybe 2.5 minutes. Oh, I was so tired. A lot of this is just kind of foggy right now, but and then Nylander scored on kind of a rebound scramble in front and made it 4-3 with well over a minute left, I think it was. So and then they had a few more chances too, and so they were right in it despite a couple of bad goals, despite a lot of turnovers, despite having a goal called back. But tonight was concerning. The losses that had come before that I mentioned against Winnipeg, against Vancouver and all that stuff, I wasn't concerned because they were playing really well and they should have won all those games. And that's just kind of the way seasons and puck luck and everything can go. Tonight's the first night where it is a bit concerning. And it's time for them to finally get their shit together and reel off a win streak here, because the division's now getting really tight, and they should have, on back-to-back nights like that, even though it's back-to-back, you're tired, whatever, you're playing a shitty team, you should be hungry with all those losses, and they should have won this game, but circumstances dictated otherwise. So it's not panic button time, not by any means. I mean, they still have a lead in the North Division. It's not time to push the panic button like Leafs fans are so apt to do, right? But it is concerning now. Now I'm at the point of, okay, right? Not just they played well. They just ran into a hot goalie. It's things will even out. Now it's like, okay, this has to stop, right? Like tonight's the night where shit has to change. So they really need Wayne Simmons back. They need some more jam in their lineup. The one stat category where they always get outdone is in hits and stuff like that, and there just seems to be no real price in playing the Leafs anymore. So they need him back. They need their goalies to start playing well, because even when Fred came in, he made some good saves, but he also gave up a couple more, right? So I really want Campbell back. I think he's their best goalie in a lot of ways, but hopefully he'll be better soon, and then they can get him in for some games. But yeah, it's just they're disjointed right now. But again, I'm not too worried, because this was the only game of all the ones they've lost lately that was actually a bad game. So if this trend continues, then the panic button will be looming in the near future. But if this is just a one-off because it was a back-to-back night, whatever, so be it. But tonight is concerning. Tonight is the official start of my concern period. So everybody's been notified now. But I guess the good thing and the bad thing right now is that the Leafs have almost the whole week off. They don't play again until Friday. They play Calgary on Friday. So it's going to kind of rankle them to go that many days without playing another game after having all these losses pile up, because it's almost good to get right back at it and just get out there and get another chance to win. But at the same time, it's going to give them a chance to maybe have an off day or two, and then put in some really good practice days and try and work through this and sort things out, and put together an effort on Friday that will bring them a win, right? So and even that many days off, who knows? With I think Simmons is the only, and Campbell, of course, are the only guys out right now. I can't think of anybody else. But hopefully those days can bring these guys that much closer to getting back in the lineup. And contributing to, hopefully, a Leaf win in the near future, because it seems like it's been a while since they were rolling so well there in those games against Edmonton, and I mentioned it. I knew that that wasn't gonna last for long. They were gonna come back down to earth at some point, but I didn't expect it to be like this, right? So yeah, let's just hope they can use this week to sort their shit out, and we'll have 2 points on Friday. Fingers crossed. We'll have to wait and see. Till then, have a great week.